Before banks existed, before coins carried the faces of kings, before anyone understood what a market even was, the world's first stock exchange wasn't a building. It was a road. A road where information traveled faster than soldiers, where fortunes were made in silence, and where a single rumor could reshape an empire. The truth is simple. The Silk Road was not just a trade route. It was humanity's first Wall Street. Risk created wealth. Imagine a time when a single journey could make you richer than a king, or end your life halfway through. Pepper from India could buy a house in Rome. Chinese silk was worth more than gold. But every step came with danger. Bandits, storms, disease, political chaos. Ancient merchants learned a lesson modern investors constantly forget. Profit is nothing more than the reward for taking on risk. Before risk was calculated on charts, they lived inside it. The world's first investors. Travel back 4,000 years to ancient Mesopotamia. Here, wealthy families funded merchants' journeys across continents. The merchant faced the danger. The financier earned most of the reward. This was the first version of venture capital. Profit sharing, contracts, portfolio spreading. Everything Wall Street does today, Babylon was already doing on clay tablets. Punchline. The first investor didn't fund companies, they funded courage. Information, the first currency. In the ancient world, the richest people were not the strongest. They were the best informed. Desert inns and port taverns became intelligence hubs. Traders exchanged secrets like currency. Pepper prices were rising in Alexandria. War was blocking the northern route. Silk shortages were driving prices up in Antioch. Modern traders have data terminals. Ancient traders had human spies. Punchline. Money has always moved slower than information, and it still does. The birth of financial tools. The ancient world was brutally unpredictable. One storm, one ambush, one border closure, and an entire investment disappeared. So traders created tools that still define finance today. Insurance, diversification, future price agreements, mutual protection funds. These were not theories. They were survival strategies invented by people who lived on the edge. Punchline. Every financial innovation today is an ancient idea rewritten in digital form. Empires as market regulators. The greatest empires in history discovered a secret. Controlling land created borders. Controlling trade created power. Rome built roads for merchants, not armies. Persia created postal networks to speed up market intelligence. China standardized currency and measurements to keep trade predictable. Punchline. Empires didn't protect traders. Traders made empires powerful. Control the route. Control the goods. Control the prices. Control the world. First, market bubbles. Ancient Rome faced a crisis that feels painfully familiar. A luxury mania swept through society. Silk, spices, purple dye. Prices exploded. Demand became obsession. Rome tried banning luxury imports. It failed completely. Because people were not buying goods, they were buying status. Just like the housing bubble, the dot-com bubble, the crypto bubble, human nature repeats the same mistakes in different costumes. Punchline. Market change. Human psychology does not. When trade routes became systems. Trade routes were not just paths on a map. They forced humanity to invent systems. To reduce fraud, we created standards. To record deals, we invented accounting. To protect profits, we built legal contracts. To move value, we created written credit. The rules that run today's economy were forged thousands of years ago on these roads. Punchline. Trade routes didn't just connect the world, They taught the world how to operate. The rise of global finance. As trade expanded, something unexpected happened. The routes grew too powerful for any one kingdom to control. Merchant families rose, banking houses emerged, credit replaced cargo, and trade routes turned into corporate empires. The Dutch East India Company, the British East India Company, the Venetian merchant banks, the Medici dynasty. These giants didn't trade goods, they traded influence. Punchline. The forced global corporations were born on roads, not in offices. Modern comparison. Same logic, new surface. Look at the modern world and you might think everything has changed. But look deeper, and nothing has changed. Caravans became container ships. Clay tablets became digital ledgers. Rumor networks became data streams. Pirate attacks became cyber attacks. Route closures became supply chain breakdowns. Ancient monopolies became trillion-dollar corporations. Imperial regulation became central banking. The game is the same, only the tools evolved. The modern economy is simply the ancient world running at digital speed. Punchline. The stock market was not invented. It was upgraded. So what can we learn from traders who lived 2,000 years ago? First, information is the ultimate asset. The person who knows first wins first. Second, diversify everything. Never bet your future on one road, one product, or one stock. Third, systems of power rarely change. If you understand ancient markets, you understand modern markets. Punchline. The past is not a story, it is a strategy guide. So what were trade routes really? Not simple paths, not travel lines, not ancient highways. They were networks of power, channels of wealth, pipelines of influence, and the foundation of every market we know today. The roads are gone, but the system they created still rules the world. Because the first stock markets were not made of buildings. They were made of ambition, courage, information, and the desire to shape the world through trade. Punchline. The locations changed, the logic never did. And that is the hidden truth behind ancient finance. A story that began on dusty roads, across forgotten empires, in the minds of traders who risked everything to move the world forward. Their systems became our systems. Their rules became our rules. And their mistakes are the ones we keep repeating. Because finance was never just about money. It was about information. It was about strategy. It was about power. And today, in a world of screens and algorithms, the ancient world still whispers the same lesson. Those who understand the past control the future. If this journey through ancient finance opened your eyes, make sure you stay with us. Like the video, share it with someone who loves history or money, and subscribe for the next chapter in this series. This is Ancient Finance, a story that didn't end thousands of years ago. It's happening right now, and you're part of it. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode.